so that you have it after. So just again, just so it's recorded, if you're not, if you want to be able to get this recording afterwards, or come to any of my other lectures or meditations or what have you, find out kind of what's going on, my best suggestion would be to go to the website, debdrummond.com. And if you subscribe, which you can pretty well do on any page, if you subscribe, then you will get once a month a list of the lectures that I'm either going to be doing by Zoom, or when our world shift is over and we go back more into hanging out in the same vicinity. I do a lot of live teaching as well, and so if you're on there, then you will be kept up to date, as well as some, you know, beautiful health tips. I do not inundate you with emails. You'll receive maybe 2 emails from me a month that tell you about where I am and what I'm doing, and so that is that. The other would be to go to my YouTube. So if you go to Deborah Drummond on YouTube, you will see previous lectures that I've done. There's one on brain health, there's natural anti-aging, natural weight loss. There's a beautiful meditation on there for business success, and it is a meditation that we go into your cells and remove all of the barriers that would be not allowing you to have the success that you want. But you can go to the YouTube, and please do me a favor and subscribe. I would really appreciate you subscribing to the channel, and then you can get, you know, you can listen to this anytime that you want, as well as of September, and we're shooting now. There is a podcast called True That, myself and the wonderful Caroline, and we are interviewing game changers, life changers, people in success, people in business, people that have a story to tell. And so if you have any desire to be interviewed, you can contact me after. And I'm very easy. It's either debdrummond.com or it's deb@debdrummond.com for email. And you can also shoot me over a text, a personal text, at 604-655-4698. So those are the ways that you can reach me after. And so I'm going to start with the meditation. So you are all muted, and obviously for meditation purposes, we're not going to interrupt the meditation with any questions. If you have to go, thank you for coming in the beginning, and I appreciate everyone that shows up to meditation, because it is an energy and it is a collective, and I believe that we are all here for a reason, and for some reason we all decided as one mind. That's what happens in meditation. We come together as one mind to really help each other, even though you may not know each other, to let go. Okay. So thank you for that. Thank you for participating with us today. The other thing that I wanted to let you know is that we will, we will turn the recording off, and you will be able to ask questions. You can, and hopefully you are in a very comfortable position, kind of like how you're seeing me. I like sitting on the floor for meditation. I love to feel grounded. One of my healers last night came over and said, Deb, make sure you keep grounding yourself. And so that's exactly what I'm doing. And so just be really, really comfortable. A lot of people like to meditate with their eyes closed. And if you're not the one having to do the readings or what have you, then I suggest that. It allows you to kind of block whatever's going on in the world around you. We always recommend that you're sitting up. It's just kind of a nice flow, and you have this receive and give. But you know what? If your body is uncomfortable, then be where it is. I mean, I did a 21-day meditation a while ago, like a couple of months ago, and I wasn't always sitting in this position. Sometimes I was lying down, sitting up, I was in bed, I was on the couch. Whatever makes you feel more comfortable in more of a state of reception, then absolutely do that and be comfortable. Some of you are going to want to be using your malas. If you don't have mala beads and you want mala beads, you can contact me after, and I support a phenomenal woman that brings these in. So from India and Bali, and they can be all sorts of different crystals and what have you. And so sometimes as I'm meditating, you can kind of move through your beads, and as you have your mala beads while you're meditating, it just puts all that kind of good energy, kind of like juju. These I've had, these sandalwood beads I've had forever, and every time I wear them, it's just all the goodness from all the meditation that I do. So you're just putting in energy, right? You're putting in energy, and that good energy is with you. And so if you have your mala, if you're wearing it, or as I'm, doing the meditation, you can simply just move your mala along to your next bead, then that's fantastic. And some of you use kind of this type of thing. So if you're interested in that, and or using the ones with crystals or stones. And for letting go, I believe that for me, white jasper, so white jasper, and again, if you want some, you can let me know, you can just contact me, but I love using white jasper for letting go. Sometimes pure quartz is good as well. Pure quartz is also a white stone. I can show it to you because I have a beautiful, huge chunk. This is just a mini chunk, but I've got one that's like, you know, I don't know, 10 times this on my table, but that's good. But I love white jasper. It's a great letting go. It's great letting go. Also tinctures, and you can contact me if you don't have any, but tinctures are also, I mean, what a beautiful sound, right? This helps cut energy. So I just did this before I sat down to teach meditation. You didn't hear it because you weren't with me, but this also helps. And so tinctures are wonderful for letting go, particularly of that. The colors to use for letting go are blue and are white. So blue is a good color. So if you're one of those people that love to use color to help with your healing, then blue and white is the color. And if you love aromatherapy, which I absolutely love aromatherapy, I'm teaching aromatherapy for the 7 chakras very soon, coming up. I believe it's in a week or so. I don't have my schedule in front of me because we're meditating. So, you know, aromatherapy is so powerful and it helps cut through. And the 3 oils that I chose today to tell you to use, and you can use them in a few different ways, and I'll share that with you, is peppermint essential oil, geranium essential oil, and Roman chamomile. Not blue chamomile, not German chamomile, but Roman chamomile, because it's yellow and it's sweeter, and then the other is more dense. And if you are interested in aromatherapy, same thing, you can just go to the website and you will see a whole page for aromatherapy, and it takes you through to a very trusted supplier that I love dearly, and you can get your oils through there. So just go to debdrummond.com and you can have a vast amount of aromatherapy at your fingertips. But those are the oils that I use. And so what I did this morning, I love peppermint because I actually put peppermint on. And so I did a beautiful, you know, peppermint around my head just to refresh and let go of my morning, because I've already been doing some great work this morning. Another great way to use your essential oils is also in the shower, right? So if you're using for morning time and you're needing to let go, use one of these and just simply shake the essential oil into the shower as the water is coming down. And as soon as that oil hits that beautiful warm water, it's going to disperse and you're going to smell all of that, and it's going to get into your body and your system and your soul. It's fantastic. And so you can use those essential oils any way you would normally. So diffusing or showers or bath, or simply wear them as a perfume. Okay, so that's the aromatherapy. That's the colors. That's the crystal for letting go. And then we're going to talk a little bit about, because we're going to do a meditation. I'm going to take you through a meditation, and I'm going to introduce you to someone today that you may or may not be familiar with, and that's Archangel Michael. So if using archangels or angels are not your thing, it's okay. It's a part of the meditation. And just look at Archangel Michael as a loving source that's going to help you release what it is that you need to release today. And the wonderful thing I love about meditation, I was sharing this when I did a Facebook Live telling people to come and join us, is that, you know, I've been meditating for almost 30 years. And I still feel new every time I sit down to do a meditation, because I'm in a different place. There's things that I may want to let go of right now that weren't even in my life 3 months ago, 4 months ago, or 5 months ago, because, you know, as we evolve, different things happen. Or I might be in a place where I have a lot of fear about something where 3 months ago, I didn't have any fear in that area, right? So as we evolve and as we change and as we experience life on this plane, right? You know, we all choose came here, we all choose to came here. Then we have different things that we come up against. And so letting go is a continuum, right? Letting go is a continuum. And so I'm going to take you on a little journey, but I'm going to be introducing you to a beautiful angel, and it's actually an archangel, Archangel Michael. If you're not familiar with Archangel Michael, he's an archangel. And one of the things that I love about Archangel Michael is he is the best executive assistant you could ever hope for in the world of angels. And so his role is to be able to, like, there is the invocation for Archangel Michael. Like a lot of angels, there's an invocation or there's a prayer or there's a mantra of how to call that angel into your life, right? And it's phenomenal. And with Archangel Michael, it's just simply a call for help. Archangel Michael, I need you to help me with this. And honestly, Archangel Michael helps with all sorts of things. And for people that know about, you know, when Mercury's in retrograde and your computers are going kind of funky, I read something new about Archangel Michael that I hadn't this morning, and that apparently he's really good with technology. He helps with things, particularly around computers or things that aren't working, plumbing, all those kind of things. I was like, I didn't know that about him. What I do know about him is that he's the best executive assistant, because as you call to him, I know, right? Someone's like, wow, I didn't know that either. I was reading this story about how this woman got inspired to go help her friend do plumbing, and she'd never done plumbing before, but she thought she could figure it out, and she called Archangel Michael, and the plumbing it worked. And I was like, hey, look at you, look at you. So Mercury retrograde, call in Archangel Michael. So when you call in Archangel Michael, it can be about anything. And Archangel Michael himself is very, very powerful. Like, you know, he's an archangel, but he can also farm out his work almost. And, you know, if you're looking for help in finances, then he could send Abundantia to you. If you're looking for help in soulmate, he can send Angas to you. If you're looking for help in different things, you know, relationship or issues with your children, he can send Mother Mary, right? So he's a beautiful instructor that will come and help you just at the calling for help, right? But he also enlists, you know, other angels and other deities or beautiful things to happen, or someone to come in to step into your life to help you with what you've got going on and why you've called out to Archangel Michael. So he's like a patron saint. And he is kind of, for me, the biggest protector. And Archangel Michael is a beautiful angel. He's a male angel. He's tall and known to be handsome. All right. If you're going to be an angel, you might as well be handsome. But what I always call upon Archangel Michael for is when someone needs protection, right? And when I always, when you think of an angel, you know, you see beautiful wings, and Archangel Michael's wings, and any angel's wings really, can be huge. Like if you want to protect your home, or you want to protect your heart, or you want to protect, you know, your bank account, or you want to protect your children, or you want to protect a country, or you want to protect yourself, you can use the size of that angel wing. Sometimes in my home, I have a beautiful window here in condo, and it's easy for me to just imagine Archangel Michael's wings protecting my whole home. So Archangel Michael is a beautiful deity that is here to serve, and he also enlists light workers. And so if you're here and you have the ability to be able to help people, and you don't have to do something like what I'm doing right now, you don't have to be in the public with it, but you have a gift, we all have it. And so Archangel Michael may enlist you one day to go into a store one day to say exactly one word one day to somebody, and you've changed that person's life forever. So that's your information about letting go. And the reason why I wanted to get you a paper and pen, get you to get a paper and pen, is because I want you just to make a list. I just want you to make a list here. You can make a mental list if you want. You may know the one thing that you need to let go of. You were like, oh my gosh, that woman's doing a let go meditation, and man, do I need to let go of something that's obsessing in my mind. It could be a heartbreak. It could be a financial issue. It could be what's going on in the world right now. And so, but I just want you to make a list, and I've made a little bit of cards here. So when I do meditation in the morning and come up with what it is that we need to do today, I somehow know that you guys are all going to be here before you hear. And so I wrote a couple of things specifically I want to make sure that I mention for today's class. And so you may be making a list of people that you need to let go of. There may be someone in your life that you need to let go of. It may not be that person fully out of your life, but it may be the attachment to that person, or how that person makes you feel, or how you're not able to stand up to that person. But you want to let go of anyone that is causing you any angst right now. So it could be the situation around that person, or it could be around that person. So is there any people that you want to hand over today? Is there anything in terms of pain? Like, do you have emotional pain? Like, are you in heartache? Are you frustrated about a relationship? Do you have pain, like someone says something and it kind of penetrated and hurt your feelings? Do you have pain in your body? Do you have any physical pain that's going on? Do you have any ailments? Do you have any mental health things that are upsetting you? Like, are you feeling fatigued? Are you feeling not your best? Is there anything around pain in terms of any area of your life that you want to put onto that list? Is there any situations? It could be, you know, not finding the job that you love, or not being in the job that you love, or any kind of situation, or you want to move, but you haven't found the right place, or you know you have a move coming, but you don't know what that looks like, right? So is there any situation, I don't have the relationship I want yet, I don't have the bank account that I want yet. Is there a situation that you want to just let go of the stress of, something that you're thinking about that you just don't know how to figure out? Is there any blocks? You know, you could simply say, Archangel Michael, please remove my blocks, seen and unseen, because sometimes we don't even know our own stuff, right? We don't even know our own stuff. We don't even know our own sabotage sometimes. So you could be, Archangel Michael, please remove any area in my life that I have sabotage for my highest good. Even a statement like that for my highest good, you know, Archangel Michael, please remove. And we're going to go through, but these are things that you can be writing down on your list. Archangel Michael, please remove anything in my body that is not 100% pure, highest level of health, you know, purest level of love. Archangel Michael, please remove any blocks to my absolute most highest financial dreams. Okay. It could also be that you want to let go of your perception of a situation. Archangel Michael, I am perceiving this situation. I don't know if I'm accurate. I want to let go of that. It's my perception, because I know to every situation, it's multidimensional, and it's my perception and their perception and his perception and her perception and all of that. So you might just want to let go of your perception, right? And so I want you to just have a list. You may have done it in your head mentally right now. Or you may have written it on a piece of paper. But if you've done it mentally, just imagine that you've got a piece of paper. Imagine like a piece of paper that you have and that you've written everything down. You could just say, Archangel Michael, everything that she just said, can you just put that on that paper for me? Right? I don't want to make this like a class for you, but I think you all kind of get what I mean. And so what we're going to do is we're going to start the meditation now. And I'm going to take 3 really deep breaths. Now you are all muted. So you can take deep breaths with me, and I'm going to get myself comfortable. And I am going to not have my eyes closed. I'm going to walk through a beautiful meditation that I channeled this morning for you today. And I want you to just do whatever feels comfortable to you. Some people don't feel safe enough to close their eyes. If you can kind of close in and out, great. I'm also going to take you through a little bit of a physical journey. Where you're going to see physicality, more of a visual journey. Now, if you're not a visualization person, you don't get pictures when I describe pictures, it's okay. Just stay with the energy and hear the story. You don't need to see the story. You don't need to feel the story. We all experience, you know, I'm a very visual person. We all experience it very differently. But what I do want to do is I want you to engage here. And I've just given you a lot of, you know, linear information. And I want you to take 3 deep breaths with me. And as you exhale, I want you to feel free and feel comfortable to be able to exhale in a way that just really, really kind of goes deep. So I'll give you an example. So you're going to breathe in. And you can like, ugh. That could be your breath today. Or I'm going to do some toning. So you can follow my lead. You can do your own. We're going to do 2, 3, or 4. And then I'm going to take you on a beautiful journey, right? So let's all take a deep breath together. And as we breathe, what we're looking at is coming into our body. So one more time. And one more time. Awesome. Awesome. Well, I thank you for joining us today. And I invite you to take a walk with me. And I'm going to get you to close your eyes. And if you can visualize that you're taking a walk and you're walking to a park. It could be your favorite park. It could be a park that you know, or it could be a park that you've never been to before in a faraway land, in a country that you love. So I want you to imagine that you're walking and you see this beautiful, beautiful, big green space. And there's not a lot of people. It's gorgeous, it's beautiful, it's early morn, and the sun is out, but it's not beating down. You're super comfortable in what you're wearing. It's the perfect temperature. And you have a little bit of anticipation. You're excited about what the day is going to unfold. And so you're walking, now you're at the park, and you're kind of walking down this little hill to this beautiful flat space of greenery. And as you get there and you put out your blanket, you kind of see in the far distance, you're like, wow. And at the end of the park where it just doesn't, there's nobody there, you see this beautiful forest. I mean, it's just absolutely captivating. You're like, oh man, that's what Sherwood Forest would look like. And there it is. And you can't shake it. You're very drawn. And you get a feeling that you need to go to the park edge and to the beginning of that forest. And you've got your blanket there and you just know that it's completely safe, it's beautiful, and you're like, I'll be back. And so you're very inquisitive, but you have a great sense that you're going to go into a bit of a journey. And so you go to the end of the park and there is this gorgeous, gorgeous forest. And there's only one path. You see it, you're like, wow, there's like, it's one path in this beautiful forest. And of course, you decide to walk on the path because you know that's what you need to do. And so as you're walking on this beautiful path, it's like you can still feel the warmth of the sun and feel like this forest is just full of protection. And you feel the oxygen. It's a gorgeous feeling. It's like you just feel oxygenated. You feel even more alive. And as you're walking, you're observing like these beautiful herbs that are on the side of the pathway. And there's these gorgeous flowers. And you keep walking, and you're like, oh my gosh, look at those beautiful little rocks. And you're tempted, you almost bend down to pick them up. And then you get this pure sense. You're like, no, those are actually there for us to all enjoy. I'm going to leave those rocks be because the next person that walks this path are also going to see them. But isn't that crazy how that one's in the shape of a heart? Oh my gosh, how gorgeous. And so you're walking and it feels safe, and you can look up and look at the grandeur of these beautiful trees, and you don't worry about tripping on anything. There's nothing you need to step over. It's just this beautiful carved path. And then all of a sudden, you've been walking for like 8 minutes, 9 minutes, and you start to hear something. And you start to hear the beginning of what it sounds like when you hear water. And you're kind of hearing water rushing. And you're like, oh, wow, that's such a powerful, it's almost like the thunder of water, where it's so vibrational. It's so vibrational. And the further you're walking down this path, the water becomes louder and louder and louder, and you're excited and you're more excited, and you see that the path is coming to an end, and it's an open, and the sunshine is coming in, and you can hear it, and you're like, oh my gosh, I think I'm super close to a waterfall. And so as you come to the end of this path, you see this glorious, beautiful, like you've walked into, like those pictures that you see in travel magazines. Like, I feel like I'm in Brazil. I feel like I'm in this private place that no one ever goes. It's like, wow, this is a secret. I never knew this was here. And it is a huge waterfall, and it's gorgeous and it's lush, and the water's rushing down, and you see the blues and you see the whites, and it's landing on these gorgeous rocks and making these most amazing pools. And it's a waterfall to this pool of water that's a waterfall to another pool of water, and it's this continuum, and you're like, I've never seen this. This is amazing. And so as you stand there and you're standing there in awe, you're like, everything just feels like it's in divine order. It just feels like it's in divine order. And the water is rushing, but you feel incredibly calm, incredibly calm. And the forest behind you is beautiful, lush, and you're there. And all of a sudden, you look at the top of the waterfall and you see these images, and you're like, oh my gosh, this is also almost where angels come to refresh. It's like this purification waterfall. It's gorgeous, and you see all these little angels, and you're like, oh my gosh, this is where you come and wash your wings. This is where you refresh. This is where you rejuvenate. This is where you know, this is your source. This is a form of source. This water is so pure and so holy. And your whole being just wants to go into that water, because you know what it's like to be physical. You know what it's like to be an angel on earth. And man, this is a calling, hey? And you're like, oh, I'd love to feel that free. And all of a sudden you see this beautiful angel kind of floating down to you, floating down to you. And in front of you, you see this beautiful, gorgeous Archangel Michael. He's tall and he's handsome. He has beautiful, deep blue eyes, and the color for Archangel Michael is blue. He has beautiful golden long hair, and you're in awe. You're not in awe of his looks, you're in awe of his presence. And you know of this angel, and this angel is so powerful, but it is incredible how he's there in such a loving state. He is such a loving state. And he asks you for your list. And ironically, you have it with you. You literally have it in your back pocket. And you hesitate at first. You're like, oh my gosh, I don't know if you, I mean, you're so beautiful and you're so holy. Do you really, really, really want my list? And you can just feel him nod to you with his hands open. And he's, give me your list. And so in his hands, you put all of your fears. In his hands, you put all of your concerns. In his hands, you put all of your situations. In his hands, you put all of the things that you wrote down and even more. And with this great weight that feels like it's coming off your whole body, you put into his hands everything that worries you with an incredible knowingness that your fear of letting go of these situations, these places, of asking for the most powerful state of health and wealth and love and joy and pureness, that you know that you are going to receive, even of the highest order, a feeling that you've never ever even imagined, when you have all of your worries let go at the same time. That everything you put there at the same time, it's not that you're letting go of one thing and you have to hold on to the other. This is an opportunity in front of all of these beautiful, gorgeous little cherubs and angels that do all of the work all around the world in the most purest, private of spots, that you can let go of everything and you too can be refreshed, and you too can be washed of worry, and you too can rejuvenate, and you too can leave that place doing your work, whatever it was you were meant to do here. And you're like, I can't believe it. I felt like I won the lottery. How did I get chosen to stand at this water's edge and have all of my dreams materialize? How did I get to be chosen? And then you realize that you have given him everything, all of your ways, and he nods to you with the greatest honor of respect and the greatest thanks, in knowing that all of what you just gave him for some reason served you and taught you well, and that you too are ready to go to the next phase in your life with the purest of faith. That even when you let go, what is coming towards you in replacement of that is bigger and better than you could ever in this physical plane ever imagine. And so as he has your list, he flies over to the top of the waterfall, just slightly below where it starts to pour over. And he has your list in his hand, and you see your list turn into gold dust and rose petals. Your list literally transforms into gold dust and rose petals, and he pours this gold dust into the water, and he lets the water take it away and wash completely to nothing. And you see all of this gold dust completely transform, and you see it being carried down the first waterfall. You see it carried down the second waterfall, and by the time it continues, it absolutely disappears. And you feel like you have no worries. It is a feeling you can't describe, because you never ever have felt this way ever before. You feel the sun warm. You're almost taken back. You're almost taken back. You put your hand on your chest and you're like, I can't believe that this is happening. And so with both hands on your chest, you are just forever grateful. You look at each other, you bow, you know that you've been changed, and you know that this is his work. that this is what he is meant here to do. And you have an overall feeling that all will be well. You feel part of the universe and your community and your family and your friends in a way that you've never ever felt before, with no perceptions of how people are supposed to be, with no judgment of how you're supposed to be. And you feel part of humanity in a way that brings tears to your eyes. And then you realize that this spot that you've been drawn to, many, many, many people have stood before you, and many, many people will stand after you, that it is a gift that is given to us all, that this ability to turn over and let go can be done in a moment, can be done in a blink of an eye, no matter where you are from this point on. And you also have a true sense that anything that you take on in terms of fear or worry, now from this point on is a choice. And when you take that on, you then also take on the lessons. That this pure state of potentiality that you're experiencing right now can be, if you choose to be that state from this moment on, forever and ever and ever and ever. And you know that you have now just elevated yourself, and you are going to be attracting other people that have had the same experience at that water with all of these angels, because these angels fly all over the world. And you now have a new community of people that live and think and breathe and give like you. And that you can never truly now ever be hurt again. And you're so overjoyed. And as you walk back down that path towards the opening to the park, you know joy like you've never experienced before. And you're so ecstatic, you want to run and you want to call all your friends and you want to get onto social media and tell everybody that this beautiful, beautiful experience that you just had. You feel content and you feel wiser. You just feel wiser. And you've had one of the most personal, intimate experiences with your God than you've ever had. And you go back and you sit on your blanket in that park, and it's like no time has passed. All of that happened in the blink of an eye. And from that moment on, you have a smirk and a little smile inside that you can always go back to. And that picture you can always go back to. And Archangel Michael whispers in your ear, we're here anytime you need us. And you know that's true. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take a few deep breaths, and I'm going to let you just settle yourself into your blanket or pack your blanket up and go back home, however you want to finish this off. And I'm going to give you a minute or two, and then we'll come off the recording, and you're going to be able to share if you want. I always encourage people at least to share one word, to come off mute and share one word to describe how you're feeling. And if, of course, you have any questions, you've been given all my contact information, so I won't repeat them now. But I'm going to do 3 breaths, and then I'm going to chime, which brings us to the end of our session today. And you can come back, and we will just automatically turn the recording off, and then allow you to say your word. And so I'm going to take 3 deep breaths for you and with you. Oh.